Hey y'all, it's Taker's Keep, coming back at you again with a video where I am stimulating the Japanese economy with my Ami purchases. Now today, we are reviewing a figure that I have been excited for. Honestly, this figure is years in the making. I remember it being announced by Alter. I feel like it's been 3 years now where I've seen the announcements, but there was never a open pre-order for it till later. I think it was late 2022 when the pre-order opened up, and then it faced a bunch of delays when it was supposed to release August, but it didn't release till October of 2023. So many delays, but I am happy to say that the delays were worth sticking through, because oh my goodness, this figure is absolutely amazing. It's kind of hard to even pinpoint which part I like about this figure the most. I feel like this figure is perfection from head all the way down to the base. And there is very little wasted space in its entire sculpt. Starting from the face, I believe that this face is probably one of the best sculpted faces I have seen in any of my figures this far, hands down. I just love how subtle, like sculpt is a very subtle. Now, if you've watched Overlord, Lupusregina, compared to the other maids of Pleiades, is a very happy-go-lucky character who outwardly is very kind to humans compared to the other monsters of Nazarick. So most of the time she's depicted as happy, laughing, funny, likes to play tricks on people, just an all-around, good girl. But that personality, according to the author Murayama, is a mask for her sadistic and cruel side, which especially comes out during a red moon, a blood moon. And that blood moon activates her werewolf side, because she is a werewolf. She may look human, but you might even see that there's ears poking out of her hat. She is a werewolf, and her bloodlust comes out in full effect during a blood moon. You can just tell from her face that her hidden deviousness is coming out to play. And if you look back down to her base, you'll notice that the base is actually a blood moon. You can even tell from the red, and the darkness surrounding it would be the dark side of the moon. So you can infer from the sculpt that this is where Lupusregina is going to be making her change into her much crueler side. And of course, on this figure, she's mostly covered up, but you do get some thigh action with her ever so slightly picking her thigh up and propping it up onto her raised base. Really eye-catching right there. Her pigtails are very well defined. They honestly remind me a lot of Wendy's. Just the way her hair is red and she has pigtails. Lupusregina is just one spicy chicken nugget. The scepter is so well detailed. You can already tell that it is taller than she is. And the scepter also is not directly connected to the rest of her body. The scepter is secured with what appears to be a belt. The belt wraps across her chest and secures the scepter like that. So if you move the scepter around, you will notice it is loose because it's not tightly fitted to her body, which is a extremely simple, basic detail, but it's a great detail nonetheless. They use such good shading in this figure. It just has such dynamic color, as if it simulates this more like dim twilight lighting to her colorway that just looks amazing. I really have nothing but praise to this figure. I think it actually dethrones John Alter as my favorite Alter figure of all time. This might be my favorite figure of all of 2023. It is just that good. It is fantastic. I would say that this is probably one of the best figures I have gotten yet. Speaking of boxes, Lupusregina comes in a box that's a lot smaller than other boxes I've gotten, such as, for example, another Alter figure, Jalter. Her box was absolutely massive, but this box is a much better size. It's a lot cheaper to ship this one, so it cost me a lot less money to get this figure. On top of that, her size is a 1/8, so she's slightly smaller than Jalter. I'll have her side by side. It's not technically by much, but you can tell that Jalter is taller than Lupusregina, but it's kind of hard to tell. She takes up such little space. I would say the only thing that takes up space is vertically. Vertically, she does take up a bit of space, but because of her small form factor in terms of like how horizontal space she takes up, she is definitely a space-saving figure. In conclusion, I think this is going to be my first 10 out of 10. Conceptually, paint-wise, sculpt-wise, I feel like this figure is as close to perfect that you can get in a scale figure. Now, some people might not like how it is a smaller scale figure at 1/8, but once you have it in front of you, it's just, the longer you look at it, the more in awe you become. It is just that great of a figure. I feel like you can even appreciate this figure even not knowing who Lupusregina is and what Overlord is. This little werewolf is just amazing. I can't stop singing its praises. This will probably go down in history as my holy grail figure. Just because it just accomplishes everything that I want to see in a figure. This is pretty much setting the example of what scale figures should be, especially in her price point. Just another Alter W all around. And with that, thank you very much for joining me on this review. I have a lot more figures to get into, so I'm gonna get back to making reviews for this entire shipment. But if you liked what you saw, please comment, like, and subscribe, and I'll see you on the next video. See ya.